regular, but for the most part, it's a unique thing when it comes to radio, and I think it's very important. It's very, very important, especially when you have a platform like this where there's a chat room to make people feel included. Now, by no means am I saying you guys are needy people or anything, but, everybody likes to feel like they're a part of something. Everybody does. I don't care who you are. And I do truly believe if you can help make people feel like they're a part of what you're doing, it piques their interest more. There's always a method to my madness. And on top of that, I truly feel blessed every time I see anyone in that chat room. So you are important to me, and I am excited that you're there. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. Let's see here. There's something else too. Yes. Susanna again. I swear to God, one of these days, people, she's going to whip my ass. She says she thinks I might be the only one that's caring about silly numbers. Forget the numbers. 9.5 times out of 10, I would agree with you. 9.5 times out of 10, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And those that know me best know I could give two flying craps about numbers. With the exception of what we're doing. With what we're doing, listenership is very, very important. Listenership is vital for what we're trying to accomplish here. Without the listenership, without you guys, what we're doing here is pointless. Yeah, the artists are going to be happy that their music is being played, but what's the point if there isn't someone there to hear it? You know what I mean? I agree with you. And it's not so much that I'm focused on the numbers. Again, I'm focused more on the bigger picture of what we're trying to do. Let's see. And I'm kind of glad you brought that up because it did make me think, well, does it sound like that's all I care about is numbers? It's not that I care about the numbers. It's because of what we're trying to do that makes that listenership so important, that makes that growth so important. Again, what's it matter if there's no one there to hear all that new great talent? Mitch brought up something there in that chat there a minute ago, and you know how you truly know you believe in something and love something so much is when it's so hard to let it go. That's when you know. When I get those messages, or I see the comments from artists, thanking me or expressing their gratitude, oh my goodness, it just, I can't tell you how much it just blows my mind. I truly don't know how to handle it because we're not the only ones doing this. There are hundreds and hundreds of podcasts out there that are doing this and exposing independent artists. And we're just doing our very, very small part. In the scheme of things, we're just doing a very, very small part. But it's still, I get some artists that have approached me and some of my staff members in a way like if it wasn't for us, they would have never been heard. And it's just not true. I mean, although I can't tell you, I can't express how much that feeling is when you see that. But again, we're just doing a very, very, very small part. I don't want to drag this on too much longer. Let me take another quick breather here, and I'm going to wrap this up.
I found you in your head again. Can't stop the talking and it feels like it's starting to set in. Can't stop the madness. Broke down, left with nothing. It takes time. I'm tired of rushing. Gotta change the life you're living. Give me your arms, are you tired enough? When it feels like losing all control, you gotta let it go. It feels like you're calling out, you're falling down, passing through the rabbit hole. I know the reason, 'cause you've been leaving clues behind. When it feels like you're tricked in the end, you've gotta sink or swim. Can't see the shoreline, treading water, but you're standing still, aimlessly floating out in space. Broke down, left with nothing. It takes time. I'm tired of rushing. Gotta change the life you're living. Give me your arms, are you tired enough now? I'll throw a rope you can reach when it feels like losing all control. You gotta let it go. It feels like you're calling out, you're falling down, passing through the rabbit hole. I know the reason, 'cause you've been leaving clues behind. When it feels like you're drifting again, you've got to sink or swim. Give me your arms if you're tired enough now. I'll throw you a rope, but don't let go. When it feels like losing all control, you gotta let it go. It feels like you're calling out, you're falling down, passing through the rabbit hole. I know the reason, 'cause you've been leaving clues behind. When it feels like you're drifting again, you gotta sink or swim. You gotta sink or
All right, let me just address a couple more things here that just recently come into the show chat, and then we'll get this wrapped up. Scroll back down. Who was it that said that? Someone asked if this was all a trick. Oh, Susanna. Is this all a trick? No, it's not a trick. No. I promise this isn't a trick. And then I was also asked if I've already made my mind up. No, I haven't committed one way or the other. I will say before this episode tonight, I was about 80% sure I was going to end it, and I will honestly say that you guys have made it more difficult than ever. to make that final decision. I will tell you that I am going to make the final decision within a week or so. It's definitely going to. We've already posted the new top 30 poll, so I'm definitely not going to make the decision before the airing of the results on Monday night. That's not fair. I'm not going to do something snaky like that. I'm not going to put the poll up and everybody invest their time in voting for their artist, and we shut her down, or I make a decision before then. So the decision won't come until after Monday night. We'll get that to this top 30. A lot to think about. I felt it was important to explain to you guys where I'm coming from on this. I don't want this to seem like I'm looking for some type of pity party or support or anything like that, because I'm not. At the end of the day, I don't really care what anybody thinks about me. If I cared what people thought about me, I would probably do things differently. But the main thing is I do not want to shaft the artist, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. Being a hypocrite is one of my biggest pet peeves. That is one of the things that really just annoys me the most. I just have absolutely no patience for it, and especially in the day and age we're living in now. All right, we got nothing but a government filled with hypocrites running our country. We've got a section of society that is growing more and more of nothing but just giant hypocrites. It is my biggest pet peeve. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I do not want to be someone who preaches the importance of spreading the word about great talent and at the same time hindering that exposure because I refuse to do something differently. To me, I that's being a giant hypocrite, and I'm doing some type of injustice to the artist. That really gets me the most, I think. I got a lot to think about. I got a lot to take in from what I've read from you guys tonight and the messages that have come in behind the scenes. Let's see what happens. Who said that? Whoever said that. Susanna again. Says, you love hosting this show. You're absolutely right, I do. Absolutely love doing this. Never, ever will I deny that. But again, I love doing it, but because of what we decided to do here at Music Mafia Radio, it's not about whether I love doing it or not. It's about, are we doing the right thing for the artist? Are we practicing what we're preaching? That's what it comes down to. And if it wasn't for the fact that I truly believe by the data that it's me hindering the exposure, if it wasn't for that fact, I would probably look at this differently and approach it differently. But it is a terrible, terrible, terrible feeling to have on your shoulders that you're the reason. I don't want to be the reason for any lack of exposure. I don't know. It does not make me feel good. As egotistical as I am, that honestly keeps me awake at night sometimes, just plowing through that thought. But as I said, I felt I owed it to everybody involved, the listeners, the artists, the staff, to do an episode to explain why this is happening, why I've come to this conclusion, rather than just one day it up and disappears. I felt like doing this and explaining it. I felt like I at least owed that to everybody. You guys deserve that. And as I said, I'm going to ponder. I'm going to take in everything that's gone on tonight and run this all through my mind. And in the end, whatever I decide to do, I'm doing it because I feel it's the right thing to do, not out of malice or disdain or for any nefarious reason, any decision I make when it comes to this station